36. Letter D, nowhere in the book of Revelation after chapter 4 is the church mentioned specifically. Until chapter 19, where the church is seen in heaven as the bride of Christ. Many scholars identify the church with the 4 and 20 elders who are in heaven throughout the Apocalypse. The 4 and 24, I would say, the 4 and 20 elders are arrayed in white crowns of victory on their heads, symbols of the redeemed. The tribulation saints, those who are saved during the tribulation and martyred, are seen as a group only in heaven. In other words, from chapter 4, after the chapter 4 until chapter 18, nowhere to find church was mentioned. Only in chapter 9 will the 24 elders that represent the church. The righteous who are seen on the earth are the 144,000 who are said to be Jews. Revelation 7, 1 to 8 and chapter 14, 1 to 5. Furthermore, if the church is to be on earth during the tribulation, why is witnessing assigned only to the 2 witnesses who are apparently Jews? Which some biblical scholars would say Moses and Elijah. That is in Revelation 11, 1 to 14. And letter E, the rapture of the final coming cannot happen simultaneously, nor hardly on the same day, for 2 important events separate the rapture and the resurrection of the saints from the coming to earth to rule. The 2 events are the believers' Bema judgment of awards and the marriage supper of the Lamb. Can be found in Revelation chapter 19, verses 5 to 9, 1 Corinthians chapter 3, 11 to 15, and 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 9 to 11. And letter F, since the church age terminates with the beginning of the tribulation, can be found in Daniel's 70th week, in Daniel 9:27. The fullness of the Gentiles in Romans chapter 11, verses 12, 25, 26, and 27. The church plays no more part in earthly affairs until the millennium. And letter G, regarding the resurrection according or recorded in Revelation chapter 20 and referred to as the first resurrection, careful reading will reveal that the resurrected ones mentioned are those who are beheaded during the tribulation. No mention is made of the saints of the entire church age who must have been raised from the time of the rapture before the great tribulation. Can be found in Daniel 12, 1 and 2, where places the resurrection of the Old Testament saints at the end of the tribulation. But John does not mention in the Revelation chapter 20, Christ called the first fruits of them that slept. At Christ's resurrection, a number of saints arose from the dead. Matthew 27, 52 and 53. In Revelation 11, verses 11 to 12, resurrection of the tribulation saints is recorded. Apparently, all those who are resurrected before the millennium are part, or rather, a part of the first resurrection. Those who are raised from the millennium are raised into judgment and perdition. In Revelation 20, 13 to 15. The strongest arguments for a pre-tribulation rapture is the fact that throughout the New Testament, exhortation is given to look for and wait for the coming of Jesus. In Matthew 24, verses 42, 43, and chapter 25, verse 13, Mark 13:35, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 6, Titus chapter 2, verse 13, 1 John chapter 3, verse 3, Hebrews chapter 9, verse 28, and John chapter 4, 14, verse 13. It means that the argument for free tribulation rapture, meaning to say the coming of the Lord, this is a contradict or against the belief of the post-tribulation rapture theory. So, because of the or the teaching throughout the New Testament is given looking forward and wait for the coming of the Lord. Ang buhay na pinagpapala ay buhay na nagpapala.